President Biden has called his economic program Bidenomics, which has met some derision in Republican circles. You've been an active supporter of Democrats, I think, more than Republicans. Is that right?
I would say historically I have. I would say today I certainly consider myself and have for years now a centrist.
Okay.
And I'm much more open to Republican candidates than I am to re-electing President Biden. You would say otherwise. I want to elect the best leader of the country, whether that person is a Republican or a Democrat.
But you haven't publicly said you're supporting President Trump if he's the nominee yet.
No. I've been supportive of Nikki Haley. I've been supportive of Chris Christie. I know Vivek Ramaswamy, and I was, pre his launch of his candidacy, I was, supportive of his having a young, smart, talented, business leader as our next president. He's just been a little too far off too far to the right, and also, been disappointed a bit with his, geopolitics and how he's thinking about dealing with some of the wars that we find ourselves in the midst of today.
For the economy itself, do you think it really is going to make a difference if President Trump if he's the Republican nominee and gets elected, or if President Biden is the Democratic nominee, he's elected? Either one, would it make a big difference for the economy in the next year or so if either one is the president, or the economy is going to do what it's going to do?
I do think leadership matters enormously in everything from the economy to geopolitics, and I hope we're going to have a broader selection than Trump and Biden. There's actually an interesting candidate who just announced his candidacy on the Democratic side that I would say no one has heard of, a congressman named Dean Phillips. You probably have heard of him, may know him. Met with him recently. I was impressed. I think Biden's done a lot of good things, but I think his legacy will not be a good one if he is the nominee. I do think the right thing for Biden to do is to step aside and to say he's not going to run and create the opportunity for some competition of alternative.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think he's past his prime in a kind of meaningful way. I think the global security, I would say, and is going to become a very high-profile issue for, I think, the country. I think people are concerned about what's going on in terms of Russia, Ukraine, the Israel, Hamas situation. Russia and China are pretty belligerent today. Our relationships are not good. So I think, I do think of it's a bit like being CEO of a major company. It's a full-time job, and you need to be at you need to be strong. You need to be at your intellectual best. And I don't think Biden is there. And I don't say that, with any derision of the president. I always respect the president and want whoever the president is to be successful. But I think he's clearly past his physical and cognitive peak.